Ram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraje Natapayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naish. Before reciting Srimad Bhagavatam, one should first offer one's respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Lord, Narayan, unto Narayan Rishis, the supermost human beings, unto the goddess of learning, Mother Saraswati, and unto the author, Srila Vyasadeva. My regular attendance in classes in Srimad Bhagavatam and rendering service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart becomes almost completely destroyed, and devotional service to the Supreme Lord becomes established within one's heart as an irrevocable fact. Today, we are continuing our study of the third canto, chapter 8, Srimad Bhagavatam, text number 27. Rupena lokarti harasmitena Parishpurat kundalaman itena Shunai tendara bimbabasya Pratyarhar yantam sunasena subrava Mukena lokarti harasmitena Karishpurat kundala manditena Shonayitendara bimbabasa Pratyarhayantam sunasena subrava Mukena mukarti harasmitena Haris Prat kundala manditena Shunyayitendara bimbabasa Pratyarhar hayantam sunasena subrava Mukena lokarti harasmitena Parishpurat kundala manditena Sunayitendara bimbadasya Jayantam surasena subrava
Mukena lokarti harasmitena Parishpurat kundala
manditena
Shonayitendara bimbabasa Pratyarhayantam sunasena subrava
Sunasena subrava
Mukena lokarti harasmitena
Mukena lokarti
Parishpurat Parispurat Kundalamanditena
Parispurat Kundala Manditena
Sunayitena Dharabimba
Shanaitindararubimbavasya
Pratyahayatam Sunsena Suprabha
Pratyarhayantam Sudasena Subraha. Synonyms: Mukena,
Kena,
by the gesture of the face.
gesture of the face.
Loka Arti Hara,
Loka,
vanquisher of the distress of the devotees.
vanquisher of the distress of the devotees.
Smitena,
Kena,
by smiling.
by smiling.
Parishpurat,
Parishparat,
dazzling.
Das,
Kundala,
Kuntala,
earrings.
earrings.
Banditena,
Manditena,
decorated with.
decorated with.
Shonai Itena,
Sonayitena,
acknowledging.
knowledge.
Adhara,
Adhara,
of his lips.
of his lips.
Bimba,
Bimba,
reflection.
reflection.
Vasa,
Pasa,
rays.
rays.
Pratyahar ayan tam,
Patraharyanta,
reciprocating.
reciprocating.
Sunasena,
Sunasena,
by his pleasing nose.
by his
Subrava,
Suprava,
and pleasing eyebrows.
eyebrows.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. He also acknowledged the service of the devotees and vanquished their distress by his beautiful smile. The reflection of his face, decorated with earrings, was so pleasing that it dazzled with the rays from his lips and the beauty of his nose and eyebrows. Purport. Devotional service to the Lord is very much obliging to him. There are many transcendentalists in different fields of spiritual activities, but devotional service to the Lord is unique. Devotees do not ask from the Lord in exchange for their service. Even the most desirable liberation is refused by devotees, although offered by the Lord. Thus, the Lord becomes a kind of debtor to the devotees, and he can only try to repay the devotee's service with his ever-enchanting smile. The devotees are ever satisfied by the smiling face of the Lord, and they become enlivened. And by seeing the devotees so enlivened, the Lord himself is further satisfied. So there is a continuous transcendental competition between the Lord and his devotees by such reciprocation of service and acknowledgement. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Swapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Translation once again. He also acknowledged the service of the devotees and vanquished their distress by his beautiful smile. The reflection of his face, decorated with earrings, was so pleasing because it dazzled with the rays from his lips and the beauty of his nose and eyebrows. How fortunate we are to hear this description of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna and his beautiful characteristics. He acknowledged the service of the devotees and vanquished their distress by his smile, beautiful smile. This smile, facial gesture, really by anybody, reveals and gives a pleasing feeling or can create a distressed feeling. So if somebody is unhappy with you and they look at you in a very stern way, it creates a sense of hurt and anguish inside of us. What did I do? Why did I make this person so upset? The way they looked at me. At the same time, when a person gives a pleasing look, a smile, it relieves us from such a distress. And when the Supreme Lord looks upon us and smiles, what more could we want than to know that we satisfy the cause of all causes, the creator of all creations, the source of everything, that we were able to give the Supreme Being some pleasure. I remember a couple of thoughts on smiles. This was back in the early 2000s. My spiritual master, His Holiness Bhaktitirtha Maharaj, was visiting Philadelphia and had many different programs. And it was the first time that I had the opportunity to become an actual servant. I was designated for him for the weekend, driving him where he wants, whatever he needs to get what he wants, iron his clothes. He would ask me different things about the programming. Anyway, I was there to wait on him and serve him. I was really looking forward to the opportunity because I would hear devotees having this opportunity to be the personal servant of the spiritual master. And I was looking forward to the opportunity. And as the day went on, Friday, Saturday, I realized how difficult it was. And I was just exhausted. And I had in my mind that it was going to be this experience where, the Guru was just going to be talking to me all the time, asking me how I was doing, answering my questions. And there was none of it. And I was feeling a little bit down as a result. When am I going to get my personal time with Guru Dev? But he was so busy, he was so engaged in preaching, he was talking to this person, that person, going to this program. He himself was hardly eating any because he was so busy. And when Monday morning came and he was getting ready to leave, I was completely exhausted and I was mentally fatigued. And I felt that I was, maybe I did something wrong, that he just didn't really show any personal interest in me. And I remember it was a cold day and he was staying at the Bhakti Garden downtown. And he walked out, and just to show like how out of it I was, I just walked outside with a t-shirt on. And he says, "Why do you have a t-shirt on? You should have a jacket on. You should, and you're going to get cold." And so I ran in and put my jacket on and came out. He got in the car, and just as he was getting ready to drive away, he rolled down the window and he smiled at me. And in that smile, it was a confirmation of his affection and his love and his appreciation. Not that I did anything spectacular, but just the fact that I was trying. And he appreciated the fact that I was trying. And any feeling that I had that was feeling let down or dismissed was completely removed at that moment. And just a 3-second smile actually became, completely satisfying. Just it erased everything, and it was all that I ever needed. When Arjuna was on the battlefield, and he was completely broken, he went through his, what do they call that? He had a breakdown, mental, emotional breakdown, meltdown. What am I going to do, Krishna? Everything in my world is coming to an end. And what did Krishna do? He stood there and he smiled. Because he knew, he could see the future. He knew everything was going to be okay. But from Krishna's perspective, he gave a smile to Arjuna, indicating that what is to come, even though what looks to be a distressing situation, what is to come is actually going to be all right. So in the same way, it's saying here that Krishna's beautiful smile, it vanquishes the distress of the devotees. His smile indicates that he is pleased, that his plan is unfolding. Even though it may be uncomfortable for his devotees at the time, knowing that Krishna is pleased by casting his glance, whether it's through his eyes, through his smile, some indication, is all that the devotees, knowing that Krishna is pleased, that is all that we want. Nothing can be more fulfilling and rewarding than that. Srila Prabhupada states in the purport, devotional service to the Lord is very much obliging to him. There are many transcendentalists in different fields of spiritual activities, but devotional service to the Lord is unique. When Lord Krishna was talking about his going to descend into this world as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna, he had thought, why am I coming? And he said, all the universe is filled with the conception of my majesty. But love weakened by the sense of majesty, that does not satisfy me. The whole world is filled with people seeing God as their order supplier. They wake up in the morning and they pray, God, please give me wealth. Please remove all obstacles in my life that prevent me from having sense gratification. Please give me good health, give my family good health. And throughout the day, whenever an obstacle comes, they say, God, please remove this obstacle. There is nothing unique about this. This has been going on since time immemorial. I do some sinful activity. God, I pray to you, please relieve me from this sinful activity. And then we keep going on performing more and more of these activities. But developing love for the Lord, that is unique. Many people that come to this process of Krishna consciousness, they're amazed. Because they may come for some karmakundic reason. Oh, it's the death anniversary of a family member. It is I'm trying to find relief from my distress, trying to find some money problems, can't find a job, family problems. They're coming, Krishna, please relieve my problems. And we see this if we talk to people when they come. Oh, very nice, thank you for coming. How come you've come? Oh, this has happened, that has happened. No, it's the anniversary, this, that. But when they read our books written by Srila Prabhupada, when they hear our philosophy, they realize you don't pray to Krishna, you don't pray to God for these things. What do you pray to God for? We pray to God that he uses us in his devotional service, that he gives us the opportunity to revive our original lost Krishna consciousness. But what do you get out of it? We get the service of the Lord, and there's nothing more pleasing. We get freed from our distress of trying to enjoy in this material world. We get freed from that illusion. So this is unique. So Krishna says here, he says, this is from the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, confidential reasons for the Lord's descent. He says, but love weakened by the sense of majesty, that does not satisfy me. So people that want to order Krishna around saying, fulfill my material desires, Krishna is saying, they're seeing me as the supreme order supplier. That doesn't satisfy me. However, if one regards me as the Supreme Lord and himself as a subordinate, he says, I do not become subservient to his love, nor can it control me. Krishna is ultimately providing everything, but he is not actually controlled. You don't actually get to know this person, God, through this process. However, he says, if one cherishes pure loving devotion to me, and he's thinking of me as his son, or his friend, or his beloved, regarding himself as great and considering me his equal or inferior, I become subordinate to that person. The devotional service rendered to me by the living being, it revives the eternal life. So Krishna becomes pleased and under the control of the person who wants to render unmotivated, uninterrupted by their own material activities, uninterrupted devotional service to him. He says, I can come under the control of that person. And that person can then order me around. And I take pleasure in fulfilling that person's desires. Yayatam mam prapadyante tam stataiva vijamyaham. However, if one is attached, thinking that they're not trying to please me, they're just trying to fulfill their illusory happiness here in this world, and they want to order me around, that is a different relationship, and I'm not pleased by it. He goes on to explain that mother sometimes binds me as her son. She nourishes and protects me, thinking me to be utterly helpless. This is what Krishna gives Krishna pleasure. This is the relationship that he wants. He wants to be under the control of the love of his devotee, who thinks of him and nothing but him. Sometimes his friends climb upon his shoulders and they say, what kind of big man are you? You and I are equal. I have just taken you down. I have just wrestled you. Krishna is relishing this pleasure. But to the person who's saying, help me get past this meeting. Help me defeat my opponent. For what purpose? Right? So that I can reinforce the strength of my ego. So that I can claim some temporary victory and cause distress to another living being. Krishna is not impressed by these prayers. So Krishna, he becomes under the control of his devotee. This is the unique quality of devotional service. And the devotees, they ask for nothing but to become the servant of Krishna. Devotee does not ask for anything from the Lord in exchange for their service. Even the most desirable liberation is refused by devotees, although offered by the Lord. This is why it's important to read these pastimes from the Srimad Bhagavatam, because they're filled with the realizations, the deep realizations from the Lord's intimate devotees. They've gone through trials, troubles, difficult situations in this world. Abuse from their family, Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj. They've been put to a test. And due to their faith in the Lord has come to them when they've passed their tests. And they say, the Lord has said, I want to give you a benediction. I want to give you a boon. Ask for anything, and it shall be yours. And they come out of it saying, I only want to be the servant of your servant. I only want your pure devotional service, lifetime after lifetime. They're not even praying for liberation. At the end of this life, I want to go back to you. This lifetime after lifetime, I want your service. Dakshudano Diloje, Janmi Janmi Prabhusi. Janmi Janmi Prabhusi. You are my Lord, the spiritual master. You are my Lord, birth after birth. From you, ecstatic preeminence. From you, ignorance is destroyed. So we learn how to pray. We learn what our motivation should be. We learn what our mentality should be in serving the Lord by seeing the examples of the Lord's pure devotees. And as a result, the Lord becomes a kind of debtor to the devotees. He can only repay the devotee's service by his enchanting smile. So this is famously spoken about from the Lord's pastimes with the gopis, where he told the gopis, I cannot repay you for the love and commitment that you have shown to me. Shishi Varnitai ki jai, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki jai, Shishi Radha Sharat Bihari ki jai. The gopis who had given up all social and religious obligations to come see Krishna when Krishna started playing his flute on the Sharad Purnima night. He says, my dear friends, you must be aggrieved by my words and acts. But you must know that sometimes I do not reciprocate with my devotees' dealings with me. My devotees are very much attached to me, but sometimes I do not reciprocate their feelings properly in order to increase their love for me more and more. If I can be easily approached by them, they may think Krishna is so easily available. So sometimes I do not respond. If a person has no money and after some time accumulates some money and then loses it, he will think the loss of his lost property 24 hours a day. Similarly, in order to increase the love of my devotees, sometimes I appear lost to them. And instead of forgetting me, they feel their loving sentiments for me actually increase. My dear friends, do not think for a moment that I have been dealing with you as I do with ordinary devotees. I know who you are. You have forsaken all kinds of social and religious obligations, and you have given up all connection with your parents. Without caring for social convention, religious obligations, you have come to me and loved me. And I'm so much obliged to you that I cannot treat you as ordinary. Do not think that I was away from you. I was always very near to you. I was simply seeing how much anxious you were for me in my presence. I cannot repay your continuous love for me, even throughout the lifetimes of the demigods and the heavenly planets. It is impossible for me to repay you or to show enough gratitude for your love. Therefore, please be satisfied by your own pious activities. Please be satisfied with your highly exemplary character, for it is not possible for me to repay my debt to you. So this is Krishna speaking to his loving, beloved gopis, who we can understand to be the highest devotees of all. What doesn't Krishna have that he can't repay somebody? If you're looking for mere wealth, physical dollar bills, longevity of life, if you're looking for fame, if you're looking for strength, Krishna can easily give these things, because these are all within his control. But he's saying this love that his pure devotees show for him, he becomes a debtor to them. He doesn't know how to repay them, other than giving them this beautiful smile. And this smile, again, gives us the sense of confirmation. It affirms everything that we've been searching for. Vallabhacharya has this beautiful prayer called the Madhurastakam. Madhurya Astakam. Aduram Madhuram Vadanam Madhuram Nayanam Madhuram Hasitam Madhuram Hridayam Madhuram 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 Ipake Adam Madhuram. His lips are sweet, his face is sweet, his eyes are sweet, his smile is sweet, his loving heart is sweet, his walk is sweet. Everything is completely sweet about the Lord of sweetness. Continues on, his words are sweet, his character is sweet, his dress is sweet, his posture is sweet, his movements are sweet, his wandering is sweet. Everything is completely sweet about the Lord of sweetness. His flute playing is sweet, his foot dust is sweet, his hands are sweet, his feet are sweet, his dancing is sweet, his friendship is sweet. Everything is completely sweet about the Lord of sweetness. Goes on, his song is sweet, his drinking is sweet, the way he eats is sweet, the way he sleeps is sweet. The beautiful form, the way he puts on his tilak, everything is sweet about Lord Shri Krishna. Compare this to the vision of the impersonalist. Who's trying to just become one and merge with a formless energy. There is no relationship. There's no rendering of service. There is no pleasing. They're afraid of pleasing because they know in this material world, when you please, there's also the opposite side of it. You get distress. Krishna's, lips are sweet. His eyes are sweet. His face is sweet. But it'll eventually get old. And he'll get wrinkles on his face and he'll no longer be beautiful then. That's not Krishna. Krishna is Satchidananda. He's eternal, full of knowledge, full of bliss. He doesn't age. His bodies are not material bodies like ours. His experiences are not material experiences like ours. They're not bound by time. They're not bound by material desires. In the purport, it says that the devotees are so enlivened by the Lord himself, and they feel always satisfied. So there is a continuous transcendental competition between the Lord and his devotees by such reciprocation of the service and acknowledgement. So this devotional service shows that it never hits a cap. There's never a ceiling on it. And we have to be careful to think of it in this way. I've been doing devotional service for 10 years, and I think I've experienced everything that is to be experienced. I've heard the classes, I've learned the philosophy, I've dressed the deities, I've led kirtan at Rath Yatra, I've given the lecture. I think I've experienced everything to experience. Actually, this transcendental relationship, when it's in its rightful form, continues to increase and grow, and there is actually no limit to it. When Krishna, he looks at Radharani and sees her beauty, it brings him so much ecstasy. Because Radharani is always trying to please Krishna more and more. And by seeing this, Krishna becomes increasingly happy. So this happiness that Krishna has actually brings more joy to Radharani. And when Radharani sees that Krishna is happier, she becomes more happy. And then when Krishna sees that Radharani is more happy, then he becomes more happy. And then when Radharani sees that Krishna has become more happy, she becomes more happy. And in this way, there is this transcendental competition to try to please the other one, in which their love continually grows. So in our relationship with the Lord, don't put a ceiling, a cap on it. We have to explore the depths of our relationship with Krishna. It will continue to grow and grow. I wanted to read this verse before we end. Again, about the smiles. This is from the Gopi Gita. This is the Gopis. This is the 10th canto, chapter 31 of Srimad Bhagavatam. Right before this famous verse, Tava katamritam tapta jivanam kavibir itam kavibir iditam kalamashasvaham Shravana mangalam Srimad Ataram Uvigrihantiye Puridajana. The nectar of your words and the description of your activities are the life of the soul of those suffering in this material world. The narrations transmitted by learned sages eradicate one's sinful reactions and bestow good fortune upon whoever hears them. These narrations are broadcast all over the world and are filled with spiritual power. Certainly those who spread the message of Godhead are the most munificent. This is the original missionary statement of the Sankirtan movement. And this is being made by the Gopis of Vrindavan, glorifying Lord Sri Krishna. The narrations are broadcast all over the world. They're filled with spiritual power, and they can eradicate all the sinful reactions and fulfill the suffering of all the souls in this material world. Therefore, your glories and your pastimes need to be transmitted and heard. Why? Because they are so sweet. And those who spread this message are most munificent. Sometimes we think this going out on Sankirtan, going out on book distribution, preaching, this is coming from some managerial entity or concept. This is coming from pure loving devotion to the Lord, understanding that this will actually reawaken our love for God and pull us out of illusion. This is coming from the Gopis and their prayers to Lord Krishna. These prayers actually were spoken by Maharaj Prataparudra while he was the king of Jagannath Puri. And Lord Chaitanya had rejected him because he didn't, as a sannyasi, he wanted to show he didn't associate with worldly individuals. But he got his attention at Rath Yatra when he took a broom and he took the position of a menial servant and started to sweep in front of Lord Jagannath's cart. And then after the Rath Yatra, Lord Chaitanya, meditating in ecstasy, laid down to take rest. And Maharaj Prataparudra dressed himself as a simple devotee. And he came and he started massaging the Lord's lotus feet and began chanting his prayers. And hearing these prayers of the gopis, he actually embraced Maharaj Prataparudra. He says, "You have given me the most valuable gems." He says, "I cannot repay you." The same thing he told to the gopis, "I cannot repay you. I am in debt to you. What can I give you? I can give you anything that you ask for. You've reminded me of the intimate emotions of the gopis." He says, "I just want to be the servant of your servant. I only ask for your causeless devotional service." Again, we see Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, Maharaj Prataparudra. Following in these footsteps, this is our prayer. We just want to see Krishna's loving glances. Be in the association of Krishna. In the Gopi Gita, text 10, says, "Your smiles, your sweet, loving glances, your intimate pastimes and confidential talks we enjoyed with you. All these are auspicious to meditate upon, and they touch our hearts." So, in conclusion, we are truly blessed with these descriptions of who our beloved Lord is. Many people have not been shown this access to this. Many people have no interest. Due to our good fortune of coming in contact with pure devotees who have made a tremendous sacrifice. You can only imagine how pleased Krishna is with their sacrifice. Who have undergone bodily discomforts, who have undergone health discomforts, who have put their lives at great risk in order to spread Krishna consciousness, to give us this transcendental knowledge. Because of such devotees, we're able to understand these glories of Lord Shri Krishna. We don't want to become unfortunate, by not taking advantage of the mercy bestowed upon us. And we want to be able to carry on as the gopis have instructed, to be able to spread the glories and teachings of Lord Shri Krishna, to help us become free from illusion and develop our lost love for God. That smile of Krishna, when we come into the temple, we can meditate upon the beautiful deities, Shri Radha Shard Bihari, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra, Shri Gaur-Nitai. Lord Jagannath has this big smile. His eyes are wide open. Shri Radha Shard Bihari's smiles are sweet. Beautiful lotus-like faces. Meditate upon this. Develop a relationship. And that relationship is developed ultimately through service. We want a connection with the deities. You want a connection with Krishna. Our connection is through service. Das, das, anu das. Krishna, I am your das. It's not for our pleasure, it is for Krishna's pleasure. We come to the temple, Krishna, how can I serve you? What can I do for you? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh Lord, please engage me in your service. That is the meaning that Srila Prabhupada has given to us of this Maha Mantra. Engage me in your service. So if you want to develop this relationship with the Lord, you can await for his beautiful smile to relieve all your distress. You have to develop that service attitude. God, Krishna, I want. Krishna, please give me. Placing our demands before Krishna. We don't see that in the case of any of these great souls that we read about in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna, I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. Krishna relieves our distress by his beautiful smile. And in that, we realize we've received everything that we could ever imagine. I'll stop here. See if there's any comments, questions, reflections. Thank you for listening. Hare Krishna. Anything? Anybody online? Okay. Well, thank you very much. I just wanted to let you know that our Sankirtan, unfortunately for today, has been postponed because of the rain. But stay tuned for our next date, in which we will, we will post so that you can participate. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.